Hey, everybody. I guess I'll start. Happy Saturday. Hi, everybody. Hope you're having a great Saturday. I'm trapped in my bedroom because I have 3 teenagers staying with me in addition to the teenager my son who lives with me. So I've got 4 teenagers.
God,
Godspeed.
prayers, really.
Yeah, it is 10 a.m. here on the East Coast. They are still all asleep, which is good. But the minute they wake up, they're going to start going nuts. So I'm hiding out in my bedroom where I'm sure my husband will also be hiding out in about 2 seconds. Bye. Can we talk for a moment about our friend Joe Carducci and the incredible
You know her.
Joe, the incredible week that JoJo from Jurors has had on her Siren, newly launched Siren media network, which first of all is going gangbusters and you should follow it on Substack if you don't. But more importantly, Joe landed this crazy viral interview.
I'm getting my mug.
She's running away because we're obviously embarrassing her, but I'm going to keep talking about her anyway because she's so incredible. Joe, tell us about this incredible viral insanity with Gavin Newsom that made like Fox and everybody I love it because all the crazy right-wing media jumped all over it, which of course only gave you more exposure. Tell us what happened.
Well, first of all, that's so nice of you. Like, I'm blushing. You didn't have to do that. Like, I'm like,
I don't have to, but I want to because it's amazing. So go ahead.
Well, thank you very, very much. Yeah, no, it was as you guys know, offline too, it was a bit of a roller coaster of a week for me. I'm still dealing with a little bit of food poisoning from Thursday night, I think it was. Kebab, chicken kebab got me. No more meat on a stick for me for a while.
Yeah,
and
that's the Bridesmaid where they go to that restaurant.
I'm gonna just not say anything about that.
Just carry on. No more meat on the stick. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna
Michelle and I take about 5 seconds like delay to figure out.
I know. I'm like,
what are you talking about? I was like thinking about the Bridesmaid
episode
where they're like
stick.
Okay, sorry. So
Saturday morning, but like, come on, where's the call?
You know what?
Okay, but speaking of some meat on a stick, I would like Gavin Newsom.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, his wife is awesome and we love her. Jen Newsom, who I know tangentially is great in every way. And also, he went there with Kimberly Guilfoyle. So
no, that's really
listen. Everybody we all make mistakes.
Guys, I sat next to her on the 5 for years, and let me tell you, that is not a mistake. That is like, I inadvertently bombed, launched a nuclear weapon at somebody.
Oh my God. Well, maybe there's been enough time, enough stage to cleanse him. But his wife.
She's community theater.
She wasn't completely in the Mar-a-Lago transformed like disgusting now.
No, she was a bit progressive back then.
And
and her face looked very normal.
Naturally pretty.
Yeah, she's very beautiful.
I have a great picture. Actually, I have a great picture of all of us at a party. I want to say 15, 16 years ago, which I don't have it handy or else I put it up. Maybe I
want to go through your photo album. We got a treasure trove.
It's somewhere on my Facebook page, but where she is just a different looking person when we were hanging out.
Yeah.
Beautiful, natural looking ish woman.
Like pretty eyes, like very pretty.
She was very pretty.
All American looking.
Is her son with him? Who's her son with?
She has a son?
Not with Gavin. She's got a son with her second husband, and the son lives with the second husband. But the understanding is, and again, this is very outdated because I haven't spoken to anybody at Fox for a long time. But yeah, she moved to Florida with Junior, and then her husband, who's part of the Villancy furniture fortune here in New York, he moved to Florida also with his wife and his and Kimberly's son, I guess, to be closer. So she has access to him, but no, she does not. The son, my understanding is lives entirely with.
But she is now ambassador to Greece.
Oh my God, looking like
she's looking. You know what? She's an ambassador to Greece, looking for her Arionassus. Like that's what she's out there doing.
Right.
Understand?
It's like the sisterhood of the traveling pants. She's what other movies in Greece? I forget. Oh, Mamma Mia. You know what I mean? Like she's living her.
she's living her best. Listen, she's ambassador to France. I don't even know why we're talking about her because we want to.
I know we totally hijacked her.
She's ambassador. Let me just.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I talked about meat, and everything went haywire after I talked about meat.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say this: she's ambassador to France because Greece because it's a pretty place to hang out on the beach and also to look for like Stavros Niarchos or Ari Onassis's, descendants or some Greek shipping heir that she can get her hands on. Like this is a MRS mission and not necessarily a ambassadorial mission. If I could put it.
Which listen, Charlie did say that women need to focus on finding a husband. So she was like, you know what? That is what I'm gonna do.
That's what I'm doing.
Light. I'm gonna turn this light off. I feel like
somebody's got to pay for all that. Somebody's got to pay for all that upkeep. So,
seriously, she also looks like that's better for me too. She looks like she's in crisis. But yeah, we don't. Yeah,
we don't want to talk about her anymore.
No more.
Your awesome interview.
The best is yet to come when we.
The best is yet to come.
Wait, and that's one last thing. Sorry, just one last thing. Do you know about the Good Liars? You know the Good Liars.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I went to college with Jason Selvig, so I've known him for like. You didn't know that? Yeah, I've known Jason for what 23 years, something like that.
So Michelle, I would tell Jason. I don't know if they know this because they've been on my podcast a couple times. I secretly want to be their best friend. So not so secret.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah, they're really funny. They're really, really funny. I'm not like super close with Jason. Like, I mean, but I'm like, we were in the drama program together.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Known him for many years. But anyways, so he showed up to one of her events when she was like signing things and he held up his phone. He's like, the best is yet to come.
Did you
try to go find it because it's so funny.
And by the way, also find where they asked JD Vance for a refund on his book.
Oh my, it's great. Listen, just really quick about the Good Liars. So Jason has been doing this. He used to have a thing before the Good Liars called North Palm Wrestling. And it was him and his other little pals. And they used to do these like fake things. And it was always with DeVrom. I mean, DeVrom and him did the Occupy Wall Street. I don't know if you remember this. So they got found out eventually. They were showing up to the Occupy Wall Street protests in suits, being like, who's going to pay for my yacht? Who's going to pay for my third? But people were like yelling at them. They're like, how dare you be here? But then they got found out and Rachel Maddow actually did a story on them. And they but it was like, that was kind of the beginning of their like really getting recognized. They did another thing about Scientology. And then Scientology people went after them. They did a thing with Chick-fil-A. They went on an actual like public access show pretending to be representatives from Chick-fil-A, and they were going to give out free sandwiches in to trade for your homosexuality. Like, I mean, it was just like, so they've been doing this stuff for a very, very long time. And the political kind of turn has been very enjoyable. And I love seeing Jason on TV and he's like living his best life. And I'm like super proud of him. So.
Okay, can we get back to Jo and her awesomeness? Because she's trying to change the
from it's because I will confess, like a little bit of imposter syndrome has reared its ugly head up this week where you're like, that feeling, where you're like, nope, this is going to disappear tomorrow. Like, oh my God, it's so in flash in the pan thing. So like, I get a little weird about it because this week was so weird. But thank you for all of you for everything and all of your unbelievable support. When I tell everybody who is listening and watching right now that these women are the kind of women that literally have your back. Like when I think of like how I've never had like a crew in my life, I have my girls here in Jersey, but like they are those women. You guys are there's no like, how women can be, how they can be. Oh yeah. There's none of that. There's none of like, oh, fuck her. Sorry, Julie's dad. I don't want her to be successful. I don't want that. We are all like, what can we do to help each other? Mm-hmm. And like this has been an incredible, like just beautiful, serendipitous, amazing thing that has come into my life as a result of Tara introducing me to Julie and Michelle at the same time. And I was just like, wow, this feels like a home, which it does, and a sisterhood, not a traveling pants. Although I
will say this. I've never had. You should not have imposter syndrome because you have worked your ass off and you deserve this. And there's nothing imposter about it. And like, you were relentless in landing this interview.
Yeah.
You were amazing during this interview. And you had so many viral moments as a result of this interview that have gone crazy, like crazy viral. And you guys, anybody watching here, like, it is just incredible to see our friend Joe doing this. I mean, and you're killing it. You're killing it.
It's amazing.
We wanted to, like, this is not going to be a show all about how awesome Joe is, although we can.
We could.
But I think we would be remiss.
Saturday,
But I think we would be remiss in not stressing what an incredible fucking, sorry, Dad, week you've had. But I felt the need to modify with the fucking because it is really just so incredible. Like, it's just amazing. So on that note,
thanks. We were on some big Sam finds these hits, and we were on some big right wing, like one of the biggest MAGA podcasts there are. I'm trying to find the name of it. We were on there yesterday morning, and I was like in the chat, like, hey guys, thanks for clipping my podcast. You want to talk about it? Like, let's talk about it. I'm trying to find what the name was. But they were because it didn't hurt that Gavin said something about punching them in the mouths, right? That was one of the clips that went super viral because they were like, they love violence. Look, they want violence. And it was like, no, but okay, fine. You want to, clip it. That's fine. But I just want to say, first of all, that thank you again, that it took me 2 years, no shit, like 2 years to get that interview. I was at the DNC a year into asking for an interview with Gavin Newsom, saw him not once, but twice. I was on Radio Row at the Sirius table, ready to go. And he was like, I'll come back. And I was like, okay, I'm going to hold you to that, knowing he wouldn't. Then I saw him again because I was hanging out with George Conway, not as a lovers as the internet people like to say. We are friends.
Come on.
Yeah, he was with Bakari Sellers, who is also a tall drink of water. And I was like, you said you were going to be on my podcast. Bakari's such a good-looking guy. Oh my god! And
so
they're
funny. I've known Bakari for years. There's a lot of history there, but it's
you know what? Bakari came up on my. It was a year ago yesterday, Tara, that we were all over at picking up our passes, and we took that selfie with Bakari's and Van and Van Jones. Yeah, it came up on my phone yesterday.
Shout out to Donna Brazil for
Donna, we love you.
That's an all-star list right there. You guys just said.
Yeah, Donna and I have been friends for a long time, and she took care of us at the DNC last year, and it was an awesome experience. I can't believe it was a year ago that we were all there. What a
year ago yesterday. I posted the photo. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't.
I tagged you in it. Yeah.
Anyways, it was, simpler, more beautiful times in many ways, Yeah. But so I saw him again, and I said, you said you were going to come back, and he's like, oh, I will. And that was the end of the DNC. So whatever. But a year later, almost to the day, he was on my podcast, and I think one of the reasons that, and I don't think I know, one of the reasons he did it was I had this like vision of if I were to kind of coalesce this group of Gen Z creators who are out there killing it, by the way, and this old lady helming it, you get a little bit of a blend, but also you get a lot of inherent amplification just organically, and you get a lot of perspectives. And I was hoping for what we do, right? You guys set the bar for me with conversations. It doesn't have to necessarily be interview structure. It can and should probably be a back and forth with people, like you talk to your girlfriends, like you're hanging out, getting a cup of coffee, getting a glass of wine. That's the way I believe that all of this is moving, and that's what people like. And when I pitched it to them, they were like, And 2 days later, they were like, we're doing it. And I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. And I was really trying hard not to be nervous because I try not to get nervous anymore. But I really have to admit, I was like, there's a lot of pressure. I'm feeling a lot of pressure.
I would have been sweating for sure.
Really?
But you know what, though, Joe? This is what I've always said to Michelle, because like even last year, Michelle not being used to being on TV when we launched Seneca on Nicole Wiles' show. Michelle was a wreck because again,
I had to take like a pill to like make myself not.
I think I would be
serious.
She took beta blockers.
I took a little beta blocker. I had to call my doctor. I'm serious because I was like, I can't go blah, 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 on MSNBC. I just can't.
And she did. I kept explaining to her that you just approach it as if it's a conversation that we're having with Nicole. Like every time, like that's the key. Whenever you're on television in environments like that, make it conversational. Don't psych yourself out that this is like, oh my God, it's MSNBC and there's millions of people watching, blah, blah. No, you're having a conversation. And that's to try to, take away some of the elements of it that freak you out.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing, for you, Joe, and the way, because that's natural. Conversation is natural.
Yeah.
The interview space, the interview, that's not natural for people. And so, so anyway, that's whenever I do media training or I try to, when I speak about that, that's the first thing I tell people, approach it conversationally, especially for candidates.
Yeah.
Approach it conversationally, because the best politicians are the ones who don't talk like politicians and who are conversational and comfortable.
Oh, absolutely.
No question about it. Real human beings.
Yes, it's the way normal people interact.
And the difference is between MSNBC and Nicole Wallace, for instance, where you're talking to somebody and having a conversation with them, and a adverse situation like Tara and I have to do an Abby Phillips show on CNN sometimes, which is where you're debating and arguing all the time. That's not natural. That's not natural, right? Like you don't wake up every day thinking about punching somebody like Scott Jennings in the face. I actually have lately, but most of us don't. And I think that's right. I think you're on the right track, Joe, which is just have a normal conversation with a guy who is, and I maybe because I've elected so many of these guys who are governors, but like they're totally flawed human beings. Like the best. So it's not like you're talking to somebody who's on high. You're talking to somebody who is a guy who happened to have gotten elected. And that's it. Like he's a normal guy, or maybe not, because normal people don't run for office, but like he's a normal
guy. He still puts his pants on the same way we do.
It's not
exactly. And I had seen, because one of the problems that you guys know exists still in my space is that it's very patriarchal. And I had seen a parade of the same, we know faces. Y'all we know which faces. We're getting access all the time. They all look alike. No offense to anybody who looks like them, but they do. And and so I'd seen all these interviews, and I was like, they all asked the same questions, and they had all the same answers. And I was like, okay. There are these viral memes out there. They're killing it on social media. Everybody knows that. This stuff's going crazy. And why isn't anyone asking him about this? And so I had Sam, my partner, was the producer on that podcast. I was like, get these, make sure these are ready. And that's another thing you guys taught me, because I didn't know about having those clips and having those pictures. And I didn't know any of that. So I'm learning from all of you. And so I said, will be really mad at myself if we don't ask him about these memes and about the all caps tweets. But the memes of him where they make him like Donald Trump, it's all a mirror. But like where he's jacked up. I mean, my favorite is him riding a velociraptor, like literally holding two giant rifles. And like, they're hysterical. So when I asked him about that, that clip went viral on Fox because they were already triggered. And I knew that they would be more triggered, but they were already triggered by these memes. And so he had fun with it. And of course, Fox took the bait and they ran the clips. And I sat back and I was like, well, hell, it's like if you build it, they will come. And if you, right?
There's nothing easier than triggering right-wing media, because it's good for them, right? Like it actually serves your purpose because it energizes. Yes.
Thank you for your attention.
Listen, it's a rage bait business model. Like that's how they all make money. Yeah.
That's great. Let them do it. Let them let them. I mean, how many more millions of people saw what you did?
Yeah.
Decided they're going to use. I mean, like it's fantastic.
And that's what it was the PBD podcast. Y'all, they have like, I don't even know, 39 million subscribers or something.
What? I've never heard of these people. Oh my God.
I know. There's
like four dudes sitting around a table. And hopefully they know that I'm talking about them now. PBD podcast. And the same clip.
PBD.
They don't like it.
That sounds like something you go to like the gynecologist for.
Or the urologist.
I have PBD. Can I have a shot?
Or what Trump?
No, it's more like the urologist or whoever gives you the blue pill shot. The blue pill.
Yeah. Or what Trump thinks is the daily briefing. He doesn't know the letters.
When HPV cannot be solved, you go and get treated for PVD.
Yeah. But So thank you guys. And again, thank you for all the amazing support this week on this crazy roller coaster. I also was on I've had it ladies on my podcast, and that blew up, and we are going to get them here.
Oh, yeah, that would be great. I'm obsessed. I've been listening to them for a long time, and I'm so glad that, they're another couple of gals I'm really happy about.
Killing it.
Could we do a little announcement, Tara, I think, about speaking of our podcasts and over it? Tara, do you want to, because it's Seneca, do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. So I have it also in my little Chiron today, my little lower third. But we've been talking about how Joe has started the Siren, which is awesome and amazing. And she has her group of Gen Z, like influencers and stuff, and like their foreign policy folks, and they have, their network over there. And Michelle and I had come up with the idea of a different type of network called Mayday, way back in November.
I think the first convo we had about it was like November 8th.
Yeah, it was like right after the election, because everybody was just so deflated and upset and just felt directionless. What do we do? And I was like, well, we can't give up. Like, what are we going to do? Like, we can't give up. And Michelle and I watched The Handmaid's Tale. We talk about it all the time. And Michelle was like, we need something like Mayday. We've got to build resistance. And I was like, that's a fucking great name and a great idea. So we've been kicking it around for months about creating another type of gathering place, another channel for folks to help build the resistance, because it's a double entendre for all the reasons, right? The idea came originally from The Handmaid's Tale, because that's the resistance. That's the name of the underground network. But it also comes from the military Mayday signal, that when you're in distress, because America is in distress, you send out the Mayday signal, because what happens? The cavalry comes, at least in theory. That's what's supposed to happen. So we're like, we need to build the cavalry, because we're the ones that have to come, because America's in distress. And when we say we mean all of you guys who are watching us now, everyone who is involved, from JoJo's side of things to what Julie's doing, to what we're doing with Seneca Project. All of this is to build the cavalry and to get more Americans involved and galvanized to fight back, because no one's going to save us but us. So then we partnered up with Julie, and we came up with the over it idea with Joe, and we've all been building up to the Mayday network. And so starting after Labor Day, so make sure everybody please like and subscribe on our YouTube channel and all the socials. We're going to be streaming all of our shows through Mayday, because for Seneca Project, we're political. Seneca is a super PAC. We do political stuff, and we do political content, and we have to kind of separate.
And we have to abide by all the FEC laws and all kinds of things, right? Yeah.
Right. There's certain rules and things with that. So we're going to have Seneca's going to be doing Seneca stuff, but all of our streaming, including our show, The Stakes, we're going to move that under Mayday as well. Over it, The Stakes, and we have some new programming coming. We have other folks that are joining us from, Denver Riggleman and Marcus Flowers and others. We're going to be doing new things. I'm going to be doing a fall show that includes football and fall festivals and wine and all that kind of stuff, called The Sideline. That'll be coming, where Julie and Michelle are going to be doing a show, and they're going to have some very cool folks joining them, where they're going to shoot the shit about other things. It's not going to be 100% political. We feel it's important that we have a build this community, that we can't burn ourselves out with things political all the time. That's why we started Coffee and Conversation. It's a way for us to have a cathartic out, where we can talk some political stuff, but we also talk about life, and we talk about other things, and building that community that builds that cavalry, so that when the time comes and we need to galvanize, we all feel empowered and ready to go. So the Mayday Network is coming. We are slowly building this. Listen, it took Joe over a year and a half to get the Siren off the ground. We don't have a year and a half, because we see what's happening in this country, and it's accelerating. And so we're like, okay, we've got to start getting this out there more and building this more. So it's just a different perspective. And so the Siren and everyone on the Siren is welcome on Mayday, and everyone on Mayday is welcome on the Siren. This is not a competition thing. It's just it's a compliment. We are complementing each other, because we've got to build an ecosystem. The right has a freaking ecosystem that is 30 years ahead of us.
Yeah, and very well funded, very well funded,
very well organized, and we have got to start building that. And also the presence has to start competing with the algorithm, because the algorithm online is our enemy, and we have to start putting in different content and different shows and getting more people involved to try to counter that algorithm. At least we got to start somewhere. So that's the Mayday. That's the Mayday Network. We are going to have merch. We're going to have all the cool stuff too. And if you want to be a part of that, be a part of the cavalry that we're building at Mayday Network, because we've got a siren and we've got the Mayday. We've got all kinds of stuff telling people to come on over and join the resistance. So we hope that you guys like and subscribe over there. You can continue to keep supporting Seneca for our Seneca things. And then, but for Mayday, this is going to be that. And on a day like today, where we're very proud of our logo, we came together with that. Our same graphic designer who did our Seneca logo was gracious enough. Shout out to Adrian for doing our Mayday logo. And it's also really cool because it animates and it like pulses. We'll show you. It's pretty cool.
That's very cool.
Trying to do all the things. So that's my public service announcement today. And when we talk about that, you know, what a difference a year makes, I purposely wore my fascism shirt today.
Oh gosh.
It says the road to fascism is paved with people that what?
Told you to stop overreacting.
Oh God.
Stop overreacting.
So
here we are.
That you say this, Tara, because I wrote a Substack. I got up very early this morning, mainly because I have a bunch, as I said, a bunch of teenagers in the house that didn't go to sleep till 3 fucking a.m. So I decided to wake up when they woke me up at 3 a.m. when they were banging around. But so I wrote this thing that I'm going to publish tomorrow, but it's about why we in the United States are not doing what people in places like Israel are doing to protest their government, that people in Ukraine did to basically overthrow their fascist government.
South Korea. I mean,
South Korea, France, I mean, literally, I go
France, like, man, you tell them that they, you know, there's one less stop sign in their neighborhood, and they
and they go nuts. And
I'm like down the Champs-Élysées.
And I was like,
what do you mean you don't have the mayonnaise for me?
We're out of baguettes.
You guys are joking, but you know, I go to France.
No, it's real.
I go to France. I have all these French cousins. And so like one of the last times I was there, we're sitting in a cafe with my cousin Jonathan, who's French, Jonathan. And he says to me, I got to go for a little bit. And I was like, where are you going? He's like, oh, I got to go join this protest. And I said, what the hell are you protesting about? He's like, they want to raise the retirement age. I'm like, you're 30 years old.
And it was like by 1 year or something.
It was like by 2 years. Yeah. And
it was something.
Oh, they were really upset.
Yeah.
He literally got up from having coffee with us, went to he's like, I'll meet you guys in an hour and a half. For this protest. And then hooked back up with us. We went about our way. But I'm laughing because this is what they do. Like all they do is fucking protest.
I'm going to go sit to a cafe. I'll be right back.
Yeah. He's like, I'll be right back. And I was like, we were like, what the hell? Okay. So, and then you go to Israel and they're protesting every day. They're protesting against the Gaza war. They're protesting against how Netanyahu wants to take over their judiciary. Like they're literally like inflamed, and they have been way before the war started. And now they keep protesting, but now they've added the war to it. So like anybody who thinks that Israel's in lockstep with Netanyahu, they're not.
Yeah, I know.
Doing.
Oh, yeah.
But what is they're protesting, as I said, the Ukrainians, the South Koreans. And I was like, why aren't Americans doing this? Like, we have our No Kings rallies once in a while, and then everybody kind of goes about their business. We don't boycott, we don't protest, we don't march, we don't do any of the stuff that all these other countries did. And I was like, okay, it's because we have this firm belief in our Constitution. We believe that in the rule of law, that the rule of law will eventually save us. And what is so frightening about this moment that we've never had, at least to my knowledge, in the almost 250 years of this republic, is that the rule of law is being subverted by the very people whose job it is to protect it. The lawmakers in Congress who make laws are completely pliant to this executive. The Supreme Court has had an incredibly broad interpretation of executive power, especially as it comes to this president, not necessarily when it came to Joe Biden. And the people who we entrust to uphold the Constitution are the very people subverting it. And I was like, we are passive because we've been conditioned to believe that the rule of law will protect us. But the Constitution is only as strong as the paper that it's written on, which means that it means nothing if people aren't actually going to abide by it and support it and endorse it and live by it. And that's what's happening now. It's a terrifying moment. Our very belief in the constitutional rule of law will be our undoing.
It's like we've taken it for granted, like gravity. You know what I mean? And the thing about democracy is that it's a participation sport, right? Like it actually, you can't really ignore it for too long, because if it is truly about we the people, then it requires the people paying attention and being involved. And I think what happened, like you said, there's a lot of reasons for why, in terms of complacency, because it's largely always been there, but also there's a general lack of education as it relates to civics in this country. I mean, 5 cents of every dollar that is spent in schools is spent on civics education. You basically go out into the electorate at not really knowing what it means and what being a good citizen means, like literally, right? That's a problem. But I think you're right, Julie, and I think people are like starting to wake up to this. It feels like it's the 11th hour and then some, because we are now past the point.
I think it's past midnight. And I disagree with you, Joe. I don't think people are waking up to it. I think people are sitting around saying, we'll take our displeasure out in 2026. That's exactly right what David Frum said.
I saw this yesterday and I was like, that's
exactly right. And
he's been right on a lot of things.
Yeah. And people are saying in 2026, we'll take it out at the polls. And the reality is, my friends, here's what's happening. I'm going to give you the preview of this whole Substack because I just want to talk about it. At this very moment, Trump is trying to prevent all of us, or millions of us, from casting our ballot. So look at what they're doing. They're trying to restrict voter registration, early voting, vote by mail, eliminate no excuse and same-day voter registration, increase voter ID requirements, limit the use of job boxes, particularly in Democratic areas, enable greater control over election administration by partisan officials. They're trying to pass the SAVE Act, which means that if you have changed your last name at marriage, like Joe has, you'll have to bring your birth certificate and your marriage certificate to the polls. Like, thank God I didn't change my last name, because I don't have a birth certificate. Mine's somewhere in the Soviet Union. And it's in Russian, by the way, if I were to ever get it. So good luck to the poll worker who has to do it. Like, he signed an executive order requiring proof of citizenship for voter registration. He signed an executive order mandating that ballots must be received by election day, withdrawing federal funds from non-compliant states. Now, I don't know if that's legal, but do you really want to trust the Supreme Court to side with us and not with them?
Especially, I mean, they've already shown and proven that they want to suppress voting rights. I mean, John Roberts was like, we're not going to.
Listen, what they did a few years ago with getting rid of the parts of the Civil Rights Act, enabling all of this. And so, and that's before we get to the part where Texas is gerrymandering, Florida is going to gerrymander. So anybody who's sitting around saying, oh, I'll just take my displeasure out in 2026, like, don't get your hopes up. It's going to be really hard to vote. They're making this like Russia has elections, Iraq had elections. All these people have elections. It's just that they don't allow people to vote who they don't want voting. And that's why I'm saying we're not. I think, Joe, I slightly disagree with you. I don't think we're at the 11th hour. I think we've passed midnight. I think we're in a fascist regime right now, and people are just sleepwalking into it because they just think, oh, at the end of the day, it'll be okay. We'll go vote, or the Constitution will protect us, or the courts will protect us. Nobody's protecting us.
No,
they're getting rid of. By the way, Pete Hegseth yesterday purged in the midst of all this. Yesterday was like the night of the long knives. I want people to understand.
Yep.
Go after John Bolton at the crack of dawn to make it clear to everybody that if you speak up, we're going to come after you. And then while that's happening, Pete Hegseth purges every single general and every single high-ranking military officer who's not their handpicked person, who has sworn an oath to abide by the Constitution and not sworn an oath to abide by whatever MAGA wants. What does that tell you? They're not either.
One of them was fired because he gave an accurate assessment of the bombing.
Iran, yeah.
Yes, the head of the Defense Intelligence Agency, which people need to understand is the military's like main intelligence apparatus. Like there's like 18 or 19 different intelligence agencies in the intelligence community. And that's why they created the director of the national intelligence after 9/11, because everybody kind of wasn't talking to each other. So they decided to at least have someone that can keep all of those agencies together and know who's doing what and when. and they all play very important roles, from the NSA to the DIA to the CIA. I mean, there's all kinds of things that happen there. And that's unfortunately run by Tulsi Gabbard. She's the DNI who is just becoming even more the useful idiot for Russia, handing over everything. She is dismantling our intelligence agencies in ways that are so destructive that we're so much more unsafe now. And now you've got Hegseth doing this at Trump's bidding. Go ahead, Julie.
And here's what Tulsi Gabbard did, which I don't think most people paid attention to, but you should. On July 20th, in the midst of, so I think if I get my dates right or wrong, I'm not sure, but somewhere around July 16th or so, Trump announces that he is going to put secondary sanctions on anybody who does business with Russia if Putin doesn't end this war in 50 days. In the midst of all of this, as he's talking tough, and of course it's all bullshit because of course he never did it, right? Now we're back in like being, now he's back to inviting Putin to
World Cup.
To the UFC fight or whatever the hell he invited him to, and phone.
Oh, it was FIFA. Yes, World Cup.
FIFA, sorry.
But it's now going to be headquartered at the fucking Kennedy Center. I don't even
Trump Kennedy Center.
But in the midst of him talking tough, which anybody who knows Russia understands it's all bullshit. He was never going to do anything to Vladimir Putin because Putin's got God knows what the fuck Putin's got on him. At least the Epstein files, if not more, probably much more. But what Tulsi Gabbard did on July 20th is she prohibited, she put out a memorandum prohibiting any release of information about U.S.-Russian conversations over the ceasefire in Ukraine with our Five Eyes allies. Our Five Eyes allies are the people who are, so let me tell you who they are. It's the UK, it's Australia, it's New Zealand, it's Canada, and it's us. Yep. It is the closest intelligence sharing conglomerate that we have.
Yeah.
And she prohibited any conversations about what the United States is doing with Putin, sharing that information with them.
That's crazy. Just so that people understand, that Five Eyes intelligence group is like, it's so important that we have those relationships. These are the top intelligence agencies in the world, and they are our most important allies in anything requiring intelligence. So the fact that it's like the NATO of intelligence. So that folks understand, because not everybody understands like what Five Eyes is, or because they live normal lives, they don't live lives like us. So I just wanted to emphasize why her telling them not to share information with our Five Eyes allies matters so much, because this is very bad.
And so let me go further. So Putin lands, not this past Friday, but a week ago yesterday, in Alaska. Trump rolls out the red carpet for him, has Marines on his hands and knees, literally rolling out the red carpet for this fucking genocidal dictator autocrat. Adolf Hitler want to be. The only reason he's not doing what Hitler did is because he doesn't have the power. Otherwise, he would do it. And he proceeds to have a 10-minute solo ride in the Beast, in the presidential limousine with Putin, whose English is good enough to have a private conversation with Trump without anybody hearing except their security. Unprecedented. Now, the reason this should scare the bejesus out of you is because 48 hours later, Volodymyr Zelensky says he's flying to the White House the next day to have a meeting with Trump. That's to be expected. He wanted to diffuse whatever poison Putin put in Trump's ear quickly. That makes sense. What is crazy and insane is that the leaders of Great Britain, France, Germany, Finland, and Italy,
and NATO,
all came with him. The Secretary General of NATO and the head of the EU. So all of these people whose calendars or schedules are set months, if not years in advance,
in Italy,
everything they were doing to fly to Washington. All of these people, unprecedented, people who have countries to govern, who have military alliances to effectively oversee, who have political European alliances to oversee, dropped everything they were doing. And their excuse was, oh, we didn't want Zelensky to go in there alone. Bullshit. Zelensky's not a 5-year-old. He could handle it. They heard something that happened at that summit that so concerned them, because they have great intelligence too. Just because we're not sharing intelligence with them doesn't mean that they're not spying on us and spying on Russia. And whatever was said in the Beast obviously so alarmed them that these people dropped everything they did to fly to Washington.
As it should have. As it should have, by the way.
Did you hear the Fox reporter describing Carolyn Levitt and I forget who else?
Ashen.
And Peter Alexander.
They looked ashen.
Yeah, Peter Alexander. Yeah.
Right. After the meeting in Alaska, Donald Trump emerged, right? The closed door meeting was him and Rubio and I think who was the third person?
Hegseth was there.
Hegseth. And then, they emerged from this meeting with Putin, and Carolyn Levitt and everybody looked ashen was the name that was the descriptor that they used. And the Fox News reporter was the one who said that this was very unusual, like we hadn't really seen this, and that kind of sent off alarm bells. So when you've lost Fox News in the descriptions of how troubling that meeting was, it's a problem. And just so people understand, Vladimir Putin being inside the Beast is one of the greatest security breaches and most disrespectful fucking things ever. And I can and our military guys on their knees, literally rolling out the red carpet. Anyone who just dismissed that imagery and what was going on just because we had some bombers flying overhead that cost millions of dollars, by the way.
It was an honor flight. Everybody thinks that it was to scare Putin. It was a fucking honor flight.
Exactly. It's like what you do if we were bringing like the Queen of England here. Like it's like, what are you doing?
If you're at a West Point game, they see fly overhead at a fucking football game at West Point.
Right, the Army Navy game, let's show off and honor our beautiful weaponry. Like it was insane. So all of these things, to Julie's point, our allies saw what was going on, and people talk amongst themselves. So this scared the shit out of everyone enough to haul ass over here at the last minute to be at the White House to basically be like, what the fuck is happening? Okay, we can't let this thing. We cannot let it move forward like this. That's why it matters. And
what's so even scarier is that in the middle of this insane rush to Washington by our Western allies, which again, I have to stress, is not because they were worried that Zelensky couldn't handle himself. Give me a break, guys.
Good cover story, though.
Yeah, it's a nice cover story, but it's ridiculous. Like he does not need, Giorgia Meloni, Italy, to go hold his hand.
Right. I thought it was interesting that even she came.
Even she came. Well, she's been very strong on Russia. I have to give her credit.
Yeah,
but she's been strong on Russia. Anyway, so in the midst of this meeting, he proceeds to excuse himself for 40 minutes, 40, to call Vladimir Putin. You guys, this is happening before our eyes.
Mm-hmm.
It's my earlier point. I don't mean to be this heavy on a Saturday, but I'm sorry. It's been a hell of a week.
It has.
Before our eyes, this fascism domestically with the raid on Bolton, with the purging of the military is happening domestically, while internationally he is siding with the Hitler equivalent of the 21st century. I mean, could you imagine if Roosevelt did this?
And
we elected Charles Lindbergh.
Well, and this is the Republican Party's moving the line again, right?
Yep.
So this is basically the final line. I mean, honestly, because they've already moved it on democracy. So they've moved it when he said he bragged about grabbing women by the pussy. They moved the line when he mocked John McCain. They moved the line when he went after the Gold Star family. They moved the line when he disparaged the military widow. They moved the line when he said suckers and losers. They moved the line when he had the perfect phone call. They moved the line when he attacked our Capitol in order to stay in power. They have moved the line on Epstein. Now they've moved the line on elections and election integrity and maps and gerrymandering. And they are finally going to move the line on Vladimir fucking Putin. The party that was the party of Ronald Reagan has moved the line where now Russia is going to be our, boss, not our partner.
Already is for Trump.
Right. And that's the final fucking capitulation for those self-gelding motherfucking cowards, is that the men and boys who went across oceans, plural, to fight against fascism, to stop this, are now being disrespected to such a degree that it is happening in our White House, on our soil. Mm-hmm. That's where we are. And that's the final recapitulation for a so-called party that is more of a cult, like just like in Germany and other cautionary tales throughout time. This is the final line. And it's really fucking hard to watch. Do
these people, do they understand that I'm positive the United Kingdom, which has the best intelligence service in the world, better than ours apparently, even better than the Mossad, do they not think that they have sources in the Kremlin who are telling them what's going on?
Of course they do.
That's why Keir Starmer got on a plane and flew here, dropped everything else he was doing.
Listen, James Bond isn't doing this for his health just to get girls. Yeah. Out there to warn America, to warn our allies about, hey, listen, this is what's happening. Come on.
And the story MAGA told was only Donald Trump could summon all these world leaders. This is America looking strong. Like, no,
intervention. This is like if you're drunk, you're powerful enough to summon all of your friends to have an intervention. Congratulations, Trump.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Right? Like, congratulations, because that's exactly what happened. He's the heroin addict. His supplier is Vladimir Putin. And all of these people are showing up saying, hey, man, you've got a problem. But you're powerful enough to have summoned all of them. Congratulations.
Vladimir Putin's his dealer.
And but don't
right? And now Vladimir Putin is dangling the heroin in front of him because he basically said, no, I'm not doing a bilateral meeting with Zelensky, and going right back to square one after he gave Donald Trump his little hit. And now, Trump is like, what do you mean? No, you have to give me more. And he's willing to do whatever it takes to get that other hit. And that hit is the dopamine rush that he gets from acting like America's Vladimir Putin, which is what he's doing every day on the streets of this country. Yesterday was a fire hose of fuckery Friday. Okay. It was so overwhelming. And it started with the Bolton raid, and then it just cascaded into more shit from there. Between that, the firings, as we mentioned already, Donald Trump first of all, he looked like shit, by the way. Did you guys
I want to talk about that.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on, dude? Like, he didn't even bother to do the flap with the hat, with his hair. He threw the hat on, which said Trump was right about everything, which is what freaking Elon Musk was wearing. Again, propaganda constantly. It never stops. And then all of these things going on, and then arming the National Guard with weapons that they don't even really know how to use. They have to train them to have sidearms to patrol the streets of Washington. I was out in Washington last night. My husband and I went to the DC Improv to see a comedian that we like, that we had tickets for from months ago. And I got to tell you, going into DC last night, it felt like a fucking war zone. You saw cops everywhere. You saw these streets being blocked off. When we came out of the comedy club, DuPont Circle was basically blockaded.
What?
Like, yes. And I'm like, what the fuck? Whatchamacallit? Chinatown also. It was like where we were, it was bustling for a little while. But then it's like there were other areas of the city that are ghost towns, like Chinatown. People have their posting because who wants to deal with that?
Well,
but according to Trump, everything's great. Everything's great.
They're not going where the crime is in DC.
No, they're not.
They're not going to Anacostia. They're going to the white affluent areas to scare the shit out of progressive Democrats who live there.
Yes.
Tell them that we're in charge. They're not going to where people are getting murdered.
But yet, Donald Trump in his bullshit press conferences keeps saying that, Donald Trump has liberated DC, and it's, they haven't had a murder in a week and all of this. And it's like, there wasn't a murder a week before either. Like, there wasn't a murder for a week before they decided to militarize DC. These are propaganda talking points that the right wing is now using, that it takes the military and a federal militarization of the city to make us safe. So that because he said yesterday that he could just declare a national emergency and take it to Chicago or New York, and that politicians are begging him to make their city safe too. This is the fascism creep, people.
And don't forget, couple that with he said that the mayor has been lying about the crime statistics because the crime in DC had been going down. Yes. Numbers he actually touted at the beginning of his first the second season of this shit show. Now he's saying if she doesn't stop lying about these numbers, she has to say that because he brought the National Guard in, now the crime numbers are going, now they're going down. Now the restaurants are going up. She needs to say the numbers the way he wants her to say the numbers.
Or he'll remove her.
Yes.
Right? Maybe say something like that, or she won't be there anymore, or something like that.
And he thinks something about something harsh to pay. I think he threatened so many people yesterday via fucking Ruth that I can't even remember, because he threatened what he threatened. Or was it Las Vegas? Where's that other woman? Where's that woman she's in prison, and he said if they don't release her, Colorado. Yeah. So he threatened so many people via Truth yesterday. But the thing is, he's used to people, again, capitulating now. Because, look, all those law firms, all those colleges and universities, businesces, Intel, NVIDIA.
Yeah, 10% of Intel now? How is it not fascism?
Sarah,
how is this not fascism?
Sarah, you're a former Republican. You tell me, how is this not fucking socialism? We have the biggest stakeholder and the biggest American chip manufacturing company is the United States government. We have basically taken over parts of Intel, and we're not going to be a passive investor.
It's all the isms, okay? It is all the isms that have been scaring people with for years, particularly with the economy, right? There's elements of fascism, there's elements of communism, there's elements of socialism, there's elements of
Taylor Greene said all these things. Now they are these things.
I'm saying because there was with fascism, it has to do with controlling the means of production and communism and the private ownership of companies and government coming in and controlling them. There's all these isms coming together in one, and then now it's called Trumpism. And this is a awful route to take. And Republicans used to be so emphatically against this. It's part of the reason why I left. I was like, you guys, because they started laying the foundation for accepting this once they started rolling over to Trump in the first term. And now it's completely out of control, where he's just doing whatever the fuck he wants. The Republicans would have, if Barack Obama or Joe Biden done what he's doing right now to the economy and basically bullying private companies into partial government ownership, Republicans would have been marching in the streets down to Pennsylvania Avenue in front of the White House, claiming he should be removed. Like, I don't understand why there aren't more people calling out the hypocrisy on it. We are, of course, but the mainstream media is not. They should be asking every Republican, how is this okay to you? Explain how this is in line with Republican orthodoxy. We'll wait, because it's not. And read the definition of the isms and explain to us how this is different.
And in the meantime, I don't know if people know this. Well, all of this was happening yesterday. There was a case of the plague in Lake Tahoe. I don't know.
Oh my God, I missed that.
Oh, of course you did, because everything else was going to hell. And the only reason I know is because my 13-year-old came up to me and went like this with the phone and goes, here's a story about the plague. He's like, should we be worried? Where's Lake Tahoe? And I was like, let me look this up. It's not some stupid thing he saw on Instagram, but like, it's real. It's NBC's reported it. The Guardian's reported it. It's real. Some guy got bit by a tick in southern Lake Tahoe, and he has the plague.
Oh my God.
And the plague, like the Black Death version of the plague.
Like what killed people in the
1300s. Yeah. So killed a third of Europe in the 1300s.
Yeah.
Robert F. Kennedy, where are you, buddy?
He's doing pull-ups and jeans.
Pull-ups. But we have the plague in this country now under this president. And
we've got a plague, all right.
Where's the national emergency on that?
Oh God.
Yeah. Well, there's so many to all your points, but like Tara about like, why isn't anybody asking Republicans? Like, this is so not in sync with everything you've ever said, that you believe in everything you espouse, including, by the way, small government, which is like small government. I get to decide which books you read, which medicines you take, where you can travel to, who you could love or marry. I'm not in your fucking bedroom. I'm not putting the Bible in your, right?
The administration of elections, like, you know, the 10th Amendment. I remember when Republicans used to very sanctimoniously scream about the 10th Amendment when Barack Obama was president. That's fucking out the window now because Donald Trump is ruling over red state governors and dictating to them how they should administer their elections now and their election maps. I mean, it's so unbelievably hypocritical. It's outrageous. Go ahead.
And the evangelicals have done it too. And they've all abandoned what they claim to be their principles. They've all abandoned all of that for ultimately what they believe is a pathway to power. When we all know this, like for now, it's going to benefit you in the short term, but fascists are going to come for you too. They don't give a shit if you're wearing a red hat. They don't care if you voted for him 3 times. They don't care if you're boycotting Cracker fucking Barrel or wearing jeans in solidarity with a movie star. They don't fucking care. You're all dispensable to them. You're all disposable to them.
I say that the Cracker Barrel rebrand is awful? Everybody agrees that it's universally awful. This has nothing to do with being woke. Jesus.
And by the way, ever since that ad started, they've had a huge decline in their foot traffic in their stores. So it's also
the American Eagle.
Yeah. Could we go back to because I know we're running out of time. Could we go back to Mayday for a second? Because I do want to stress again for people who were not here in the beginning of the show.
Yep.
After this week, we are no longer going to be streaming on Seneca. So please sign up for the Mayday Network if you want to keep participating in Coffee and Conversation. We are deeply grateful. Michelle, why don't you talk a little bit about why this is so necessary, the siren and Mayday and all these things. I think you have a graphic you want to throw up also.
Yeah. So Joe sent this in the chat a while ago. That's the difference between us and them, guys. It's that simple.
That's a graphic of the presence of the ecosystem, the media ecosystem online. That's podcasts and streaming shows and things like that. The red is the right. The blue dots is democracy side. That's us.
And Trevor Noah is not particularly political.
No.
So the biggest one.
But he's not a fascist MAGA, so they're including him as in the dot. So
and the young Turks are out of their fucking mind. The young Turks.
Well, that too. Right.
But again, that's part of anyone who's not on the fascist, democracy side is considered a blue dot. That's go ahead, Michelle. Just wanted so people understood what they were looking at.
No, I think you explain everything. I mean, it's that simple, really.
And it's not rocket science to combat this. You have to start, and you have to start by building a community and building creators and amplifying them and supporting them and pushing them out into the algorithm. And you have to have more and more and more, and they have to collaborate and work together and work in sync. And they have to lift all boats truly. And there is no reason. We have all the creativity. We have the issues on our side. We have the capacity to rival every one of those red circles. We need to do it. And that's why what Mayday is doing. That's why what I'm doing at the Siren. That's why our partnerships are so important. That's why uplifting new creators, new voices, new perspectives is so important. Guys, this is existential. This is only going to have more influence as we move out of a legacy media model than it already does. And so we have a chance right now. That's why what Mayday is doing is so important to me. And I'm so proud of you guys. And I cannot wait to work with you and collaborate with you. And same, across over here to Siren, that we need more, because that shit, that's going to be the death of us forever. That's the death knell. Forever.
And also it's important. Thank you, Joe. It's also important that that what differentiates us also is that we're women led. Okay. We're women led, and you're not going to always see just the same kinds of people in the manosphere, running things, because that's important. And there's, like we said, we're partnering with guys, and there's, allies that are there, and we're not just it's not just me a women only network. It's women led, but we're bringing in, different voices and different perspectives on here. So it looks and sounds and feels different.
But it's also different perspectives in the sense that you and I, Tara, come from a political background. Michelle comes from a theater background. Yep. And Michelle has a completely unique and awesome and different perspective.
Right.
I want to give a shout out to Michelle for a moment, because Michelle has this incredible ability, I think, and empathy that comes from somebody who hasn't spent her entire life killing people politically the way you and I. So, I love that perspective, and I think it's helpful, and it's unique. It's unique.
Thanks, Julie.
And it's part of the real world. It's outside politics, which is again why we wanted to start Mayday, and why I always say that the cavalry is made up of all kinds of people from all aspects of life. You can't have a resistance that's just one group of kinds of people. It's got to be, a much more heterogeneous group of folks that come in that bring different perspectives and different passions and different reasons for being a part of the resistance. And that's why, when you see the resistance in real life and in Hollywood, it's made up of all kinds of different people. So that's why we're doing that. And just as another programming note, the countdown to my new decade has begun, and I will be traveling over the next couple of weeks to celebrate that and to bring that in. And so if you don't see me, I will try to pop in while I'm traveling to say hello. But if you guys don't see me for the next couple of shows, that's why. Don't freak out. Don't everybody like, where's Tara? I will be traveling because I'm turning 50 in September, and it's a big deal.
It's good on the side of the 50s. Joe and I.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. It's weirding me out, though. I will admit it is weirding me out. But as it's approaching quickly, because I'm like literally 1 year away from when the age my grandmother was when I was born. It's weird. It's weirding me out. Like I'm still not like fully there.
So
I'm starting to embrace it. So
Michelle will appreciate this. I went. I had to, I keep saying I have these little cousins visiting from abroad, so I had to take them all over the city yesterday and again today. And we hooked up with my great aunt. My great aunt is, I think, 87 or 88, but she's in great shape. She's awesome. She looks like she's in her early 70s. I hadn't seen her in a while. In only a way that like a Russian person can. She sits me down as we're sitting there, and she goes, I got to tell you, you've gotten very wrinkled.
Oh my God.
Julie.
Oh my God.
That's so rude.
It's not rude. It's just my family. She's trying to be helpful.
So can I just say, so that we can end on like a happier note? So
it gets better.
While I was in New York this week, I got a chance to go see Death Becomes Her. Speaking of wrinkles, okay, so anyone who doesn't know the show, if you guys get a chance to go, anyone watching, you're in New York and you have a chance to go to a Broadway show, please go see Death Becomes Her. It is hilarious. It's the voices are incredible. The leads are amazing. We had the good friend of Megan Hilty. What is that her last name? Who's in the show? She's one of the leads. Patrick Hines. They do this great podcast about the Golden Girls and crime.
Oh no, she's not. She's not on that.
Mm-mm. I thought she did that with him. Who's the one who does it on the podcast?
The other one. I forget her name.
Okay,
yes, the other one.
Never mind. But anyway, the show is great, and it's about, if you guys ever saw the movie, it's based on the movie, and it's all about maintaining youth and getting older in entertainment. And what
Jennifer Simard.
That's right, Jennifer. In maintaining youth and the lengths that starlets will go to maintain their youth. And there's a very funny scene where one of them does an infomercial for wrinkle cream, and she's the before, not the after, and she is horrified by it. It's a great show. So you know what, Julie? Just
no, it gets even better, because after she informed me that I got very wrinkled, and I said, oh, kind of as a joke, I go, well, maybe I should go get some more Botox. She goes, oh no. She goes, oh no. Botox is very expensive, and you've got to keep it up every couple of months. You can't do that. But I got to tell you, it really is very apparent when you're on TV, because when they really go into HD, you could really see them up close. And she's just she's not saying it to be rude. It's just like what Russians do. Like, of course, like whatever. And she goes, I got to tell you, I mean, over the last year, really, it's obviously you're very stressed. You could tell on your face, you're very stressed. I said, well, yes, everything that's going on in this country is very stressful. She's like, yeah. I said, well, I'm a little stressed because of everything that's going on in this country. Well, you could really tell by your face. I mean,
my God,
Julie.
No bullshit. Sorry, I know she loves you, and I know that's tough Russian love, but she is.
It was said from love. It was said from love, but there was no solution because you can't get Botox because that's very expensive. So
oh my God!
Just call it a day.
So her solution was, I have to go somewhere by myself for a week and disconnect from the internet.
That'll do it.
And just not think about anything. I was like, Okay.
Look, listen,
We'll say
some good cocoa butter, a Botox injection, I guess, every now. I don't know anything about that. I've never done Botox, but listen, there are solutions, and you look great, Julie. And
you do look great.
There's a couple wrinkles here and there. It's a sign of wisdom and a good life. A wrinkle is gonna come.
And also she told me I look like a skeleton. That's the other.
Oh my God.
But that's very typical, like Russian, like eat, and then when you eat and gain a few pounds, oh my God, you're really overweight.
Germans are the same.
I will say this, Tara. Like I'm being on the other side of 50. Like somebody turned on the light and then Grays were like, "Hi, we're here." But it has been the most transformative year of my life, and I love being here and being able to look back on all of the things that have taken place. I feel very gifted and lucky and blessed to be on this side of 50 and to be kicking ass with you guys every day. Like 50 is not 50 anymore. 50 is the new 30. I truly believe that. And you are entering your new decade, literally fucking kicking ass and with the sky being the limit. And I cannot wait to see what this decade holds for you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Michelle still has a couple years. This is what you have to look forward to, Kenny.
Oh my God, it's horrible. Horrible. So many ways. I go pee in my pants when I'm laughing. No one tells you. You can't laugh and you're going to pee in your pants. Why did they tell you that? Why did they tell you can't see anymore? I have to ask my daughter, read me, what's in this? Nobody tells me.
Oh my God. So, well, on that note, we'll leave it on a little bit of a high. Michelle, you any final words for today?
Nope. I'm good. I am good.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys over at Mayday starting September 3rd. And everybody, stay strong. Stay strong. We're building the cavalry. We're coming. America's in distress, but we're building the cavalry, folks.
Enjoy this beautiful weather too.
Yes.
Bye, everybody.
Indeed.
Bye, guys.